Oh, we live. What up, y'all?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mail Review. I am your host, Cordero.
I am Aaron.
I'm Richard. Nice to meet you. Nice to see y'all again.
Nelson. Nice to see y'all again.
All right, I'm passing it to you, Aaron.
All right, we're going to get into our first topic of today, the cost of community. So everybody listen clearly. Okay. About to add this to the stage.
To friends about how I feel like we need to go back to inconvenience.
Hang on for 1 minute. Okay, y'all got it now. All right.
Seeing each other and asking our friends for favors, like helping us move or picking us up from the airport. But something that my friend said the other day really stuck with me. And this was actually just yesterday. I was invited to an event for a nonprofit organization. I got dressed and I was already running 30 minutes late and the place was 30 minutes away. So I texted my friend who was at the event and I was like, hey, what time does the event end? I'm not 100% sure if I'm coming. It's 30 minutes away. I'm 30 minutes late. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. And he responds, just come. That's the cost of community. And I was like, interesting. That's a good point. Because I feel like for a lot of us, we want everything to be perfect. We only want to be a part of community. We only want to do things for our friends when it's perfectly convenient, when it lines up perfectly with the rest of our schedule for the day, when it feels like it's not going to make our Sunday go to waste, when it's not too far. And I was thinking in my head, yeah, if this place that this event was at was just 10 minutes closer to my house, my hesitation to go to the event would drop. Why? Why are we not willing to just invest a little bit of time and a little bit of effort to go to things, whether it's for our friends or for our community? And we need to process that that's just the cost of community. And the second he said that, I almost just didn't respond. I was almost like, you know what, I'm going. And I just threw my stuff in the car and started driving. But I responded, thank you for saying that. I love you and I'll see you soon. And then I made my way over. And I want you to take that to heart. I want you to remember that there is a cost to being there for your friends. There is a cost to being a part of the community. And usually it looks like inconvenience. To our individualistic minds, it looks like a burden. It looks like inconvenience, but it's not. It's simply an investment in the people around you. And I hope that you can do something with that information.
All right. Let me remove this and get
I feel like I'm that friend. Because I know that a lot of people like to go out and hang out up north. And for me, I'm normally driving by myself. And I don't actually like to drink and having to drive from up north all the way from where I live. But I am going to try to do better with that. But I think I'm totally that friend that he's talking about. I feel like.
I could say for me,
you stay at my place when you go up north and you can't go home all the way. Come to my place and relax and go party and everything.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
I guess for me, the cost of community for me is, I don't know. So for me, I feel like I'm always the one. Not always. Let me not say that. I feel like time to time, because, Cordero, my nature best. I'm always giving. I always try to show out and this and that. And then I guess it's the reciprocation. And I guess this is my awakening stage in this age where I'm at, where it's like, okay, like now I'm starting to notice like everything is just kind of more aligned conveniency. You know what I'm saying? And obviously some situations have shown that, right? So for me, I feel like I show up for everybody when I could. I'm like the mother. I check up on everybody, make sure everybody's well. Nobody can't say that. So, I guess to me, it's the, realizing when certain people actually step up, even out of their inconveniency, just to be present. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think people forget that a person's presence holds value. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got the energy like, oh, bitch, I don't want to be there. Like, I really don't want to be here. But the fact that you took the time out your day, despite how you felt to be there, just shows, the level of respect that you have for me. So, to me, you know, the cost of community could weigh heavy, but I feel like it's individual based depending on the bond with the person.
But I also feel that, um, you know, it's part of like stress, meaning like, let's say you have an event and I'm running late and it's the weekend, so we all grown adults, we all have full-time jobs. It's real hard to be on a set schedule after your job. So somebody be like, oh, my event is at 7 and you running behind. If my friend texted me, that might cause me stress. And now I want to text and say, hey friend, I might can't make it. But I think I'm a person that do that a lot. Oh, I can't make it because I'm past the time. And I want to push past that because people just want you to show up regardless. Like, I understand you late, but still show up. Cause if somebody keep inviting you and you never show up, they're gonna feel like you're not their friend, you don't care. It's not a genuine connection. And I know me personally, I want to push past that. Like, even if you behind, still come through. Even if you the event started, still show up. Don't be like, oh friend, I'm late. Let me just try again next time. No go. Cause you never know what can happen, who you can run into, and things like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah,
What
I
about
agree.
you?
I mean, it's kind of like I kind of agree with like Nelson and Aaron. Like it's the conveniency, but it's also like let me push past the procrastination and just go. You know, like I'm the type of person where comfort is my type of go to. Like if I can be comfortable and I can dress comfortable, then I'm going. But if I have to dress up and do the tens and all, I'm not coming, and I'm gonna make an excuse like I don't have this or I have the funds, stuff like that. I guess I'm trying to get past that point of like it's okay not to have everything. It's okay not to be prepared. It's just go. Like
Just
Aaron said, your presence carries volumes, and my presence alone is just a lot of people like it. They enjoy my company, so why not just do a little pop up like a birdie and I'm outie.
Right.
Like a little
So do
birdie.
y'all
Yeah.
feel, so do y'all feel like most people only gather together out of conveniency versus just authentic support? Because some people say they want a village, but they don't want to be a villager. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I feel like it's not even that. I feel like a lot of people say you want to, and I'm not going to say a lot, but some people or most would be like, "Oh, I want a village and I want this and that," but they've never experienced the true meaning of a village. They never experienced the true support, and it's not like it's a bad thing to act like that, but it's more so like, okay, well, how can we turn the situation around and make it better instead of trying to tear each other down? I think that's the problem with the community. It's not a community. It's
right. And
also
I think,
even if you show up, even if you show up late, the fact that you were there, even if it's just for a minute, just to show that show your support that you was there, even if you was there for like a few minutes, I think that counts.
exactly.
I totally agree. You know, I feel like everybody's definition of community is different, even though I feel like, it's literally what it states. But, I feel like community is individual based. So it's like, I can't really truly get mad, if a person's definition is a little bit different, how they move or how they process it. But at the same time, it's just reciprocity. Like if I show up for you, show up for me. Now, it don't have to be every single thing. You know what I'm saying? But at least try to make a record, you know what I'm saying, showing that you have done these things. So that way, when people be blowing up, then some people be like, oh, you never show up for this and that. And then you can pull out the receipt like, actually, I was here. You know what I'm saying? It might not have been for the desired time duration, but at least I was here.
Right.
That's true.
We just gotta push past being convenient and going for what's near us, because sometimes we all do it. Hey, I'm by the west side, so I want to party or hang out in my area. But push past that. I know we all do that. Like, just my friend live out south. I'm sorry I can't make it. No, you go over there. It might be a good time. I think that we just got to push past that barrier. and it's real hard as adults, like I said, especially with work. And like when somebody put me on the schedule, I already on schedule for work. It's and that sometimes can make you upset or make you withdraw. Ooh, I don't know if I can make it, but who say you have to be on time? Still show up.
Right. I
Still
think it's
show
a
up.
community thing.
And I feel like I have a group of, I guess I could say, friends that are party animals all the time. And sometimes I like to do things that's outside of that. Like, and then they consider it as being like boring. No, I just get tired of like partying like all the time. Can we go out to eat? Can we sit at the table out to eat sometime? Can we go to a movie? Like something
You're
different.
right. And
Can
I
we
think
party at the house? Can we have Sunday dinner
Yes,
together? Let's watch a
yes.
movie.
right. And I say this, it also I feel like it also
Please.
depends on the where you at in life. Because if you have like a diverse group of people in different ages versus people who basically kind of like one after another, like 1 or 2 years after each other, I feel like that also plays a part in community as well. Because it's like the stage you at in life, that's a big key. Because it's like, for example, I'm always usually the youngest out of everybody, but some people are 2 to 3 years where it's like, okay, we still in that realm of doing certain things, and then there's some people who are a little bit older, be like, okay, I've been there, done that, and it's like, what's exciting to y'all? I already kind of graduated, so it's like, now listen, while y'all at the club, I'm planning my trip to Cancun, so you know what I'm saying? Like it's sometimes to be like that in a sense as well.
Absolutely.
But we need that extra connection. Like, okay, I do have a lot of friends, but like my friends that want to party, that means we going to a bar. That means we going to a club. We will hug each other. We'll have a drink. We might dance with each other. But I love to like let's watch movies at home. Let's cook food and everybody come over and we actually connect. I think I don't want to say friends. People are associates. If I
Yes.
party with you all the time, we're literally just partying, but we're literally not actually talking. That's why I like actual things outside of clubbing, so you can make an actual connection with people without. You can't
Yes.
talk in the club with music.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, I'll let you outside.
I've always run by like if you can hold a conversation with me like you're talking to your teacher, then we can be friends. If you can't do that, then that mean it doesn't mean that you're not intellectually on my level. That just means you are a friend for a certain thing. It's literally it's you have again like I said last week. It's you're having friends for certain different things. You have your business friend. You have like Aaron said, the mothers of the group who's going to take care of everybody, but then you have friends like Cordero who's going to make sure, people have this or people have that. You have friends, it's different friends for different things.
Right,
I,
you're right. But some people try to like, you know what? I feel like sometimes that's people downfall. Even I will be admit I'm guilty of this when you try to throw people together, and sometimes when you put too many cats in a room, it just don't equate. You know what I'm saying?
you
Some
know,
people gonna feel some type of way, and it's like, yeah, all these different people are community because you are the common factor that connects everybody together. But it's like in different ways. So then when you try to throw all these personalities together, you be thinking it's harmony. In reality, you just by default causing chaos and people feel some type of way, and it's like you can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? You just try to have community. But it goes back to what I was saying, it does come with a cost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Do you think we need to go back to like sometime testing friendships? Because the man in the video also mentioned like, hey, maybe we need to throw some inconveniency things, and test people and see where they at in our life to see if they really gonna show up or not. Because I think sometimes we get content with a person's time or duration they've been in our lives to a point where sometimes even the people that have been in our lives the longest or shortest, they still need to get ran through the test, and see, hey, what you really about? Like, listen, girl, listen, if tomorrow, let's say tomorrow, bitch, I got a eviction notice out of nowhere, girl, and I call you like, listen, girl, we got like 10 to 12 hours to run all this shit out this house and whatever. Will you bust that U-Haul and help me move? Like, how will you really feel? Sometimes we got to run tests on people. No shade.
I
Like,
call them versatile friends or
Yeah.
multi-purpose friends because you're the type of friend that you are or the type of friend that I am. I'm the type of friend where you can take me out, you can take me to meet your family, you can have a private conversation, you can tell me your deepest darkest secret. You can ugly cry, but then we can also get lit, take a trip out of the country, and then come back and talk about it at work the next day.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Same.
you just know your friends. You know, like when you said testing them, I don't feel like you have to test them. If they're your friend, you should know. Like you should
Yeah,
know
word
that they're not gonna do it. They just not
Yeah.
gonna do it. Like
I
for
mean, of
example, like you
course,
said,
but just like with work, everybody deserves like an evaluation every now and
no,
then. You know what
I
I'm saying?
disagree. I know what you're about. I know you ain't gonna do it, so I'm not even gonna waste my time. I give that example like when I moved. I
Right.
know not to ask certain people or anything like that because I just knew they wasn't going to do it. I asked Aaron because I knew that he would be down to help me, and he actually did. So that
Yeah.
was I already know. You just know your friends. You should know them.
Yeah, I don't consider it a test, but I would say that, and I do this with like actual. We have to distinguish friends and associate because we so quick to say friends.
Right.
Everybody's not your friend.
Mhm.
But I will say you could call it a test. You know, you just I do things to where I see if you're gonna return the love, if you're gonna show the same that I give to you. If
Basically,
I follow
reciprocity.
hard times, can you help me back? You know what I mean? Like, I just had that with a friend now, and he actually showed up and did everything right and showed the proper love. You know what I mean? And I think you have to do that sometimes because you might have a friend. Every time y'all go out, you're covering everything. You're buying the drink. You're doing all this. So when they up, you gonna see like, hey, is you gonna cover the night? I've been covering the night for the whole month. Every time we hang out, I have everything. Is you gonna cover? You told me you got some money. Hmm. And see what happens from there.
Oh yeah, especially when you be in the money scheme, like you give a girl a few coins, and you're like, girl, where's that money, girl? Like, listen, everybody needs their money back on the time because you never know what baby you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there,
Exactly.
especially when coin
I
is
never
involved.
need no money back, but if I'm the friend that always have the alcoholic beverage and the other things that we like, and I cover it every single time, the least you can do is cover it once. Especially if we talk and I know you have it.
Like
Right.
gardening friends.
Ooh, I know some people like that. Oh
Like
Lord.
gardening
No,
friends. It's so simple. Like if I'm providing the essentials to garden all the time, baby, what you gonna bring? I got the soil, I got the grass, I got the leaves,
I got the fence. I got the. What you
I
got?
got the lawn chairs, I got it all. I got the food because everybody knows if you're with Richard, you're going to eat no matter what.
Okay.
So I'm going to cook. So I'm bringing everything. What are you bringing? Company, baby, company itself.
Sounds
Like
like it's
Right.
time to have a heart to heart with that friend.
exactly. So it'd be like, come on, what we doing? What we talking about? And y'all are older than me. I'm not older than y'all.
Hmm.
Right.
How you gonna bleed? How you gonna be a leech off of a person that's younger than you? Quite frankly, doing better than you. But that's beside the point. How are you gonna be a leech to a person
Right.
that's giving you community?
Especially,
Okay.
especially if it comes from a scale of if the French, let's say, I'm not trying to say like, okay, just because a person older, they supposed to have like the garnish and all this shit together because sometimes the old person don't always have their shit together. But it's just a reciprocity of it all because it's supposed to be a give and take, and that's the
Right,
cost of community. So,
right. If you feel like you're older than me and you're bringing my age up, or you're telling me, oh, and it's not intentionally you're bringing your age up, but in a certain conversation, you're like, well, I'm this age, so I just be like, well, sweetheart, that's only a few years old. You're older than me, so what are you talking?
I've definitely been there, and I definitely had to cut that friend
Exactly.
completely off because what's working. I'm not gonna say put too much into, but what's working and hanging out with us, and just was wanting us to do everything for them. But then they can go out and I can't say do other little activities too that I
yeah,
say
right.
too
I pitch you to get you. Right. I get what you're saying, and that's what it is because I think reciprocity is an important thing, and I feel like that word got lost in translation somewhere because in this age, I feel like everybody's about oneself, and there's nothing wrong with being about oneself because at the end of the day, you have to watch out for you and your desires and endeavors, right? But however, when it comes to friendships, even relationships in a sense, what you give, you also got to take, even if it's inconvenience things. And here's the thing: even if it's something you don't really care for, you know what I'm saying, like that, just showing up or just doing it, a person gonna appreciate it in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So a person won't feel some type of way later, because I can't stand when people feel some type of way, and then it's like, hey, at least I tried. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just the effort alone, you know what I'm saying? As long as you try, then you get some points with me.
Okay, but will you accept the? We all had that bare minimum friend. Will you accept a bare minimum friend? Meaning,
No.
I do everything for you, and when it's time to return a favor, I had friends like this.
Um,
When they were trying to show love back, oh, I'm gonna go buy you a juice, and literally that's it. If anything else is required, they get an attitude, or they
right.
start feeling uncomfortable, or you see the shift in when y'all hanging out, and you be like, "What's the problem?" Or so can you accept like a bare minimum friend, or would you call it out or notice it?
I feel like if it's a ongoing pattern, I'm gonna call it out, because I think we all give grace when some things happen the first time. The first time it's like, okay, okay, like, okay, it's whatever. You pay it does. But after like the second, third, or fourth time, then it's gonna be addressed. Like, hey, what's really going on here? Like, listen, if you don't have the coins like that, you know what I'm saying, and nobody don't like admit to being broke. You know what I'm saying? Because especially as men, we have our pride, right? But if you be straight up with me, be like, hey, just like we had some people in our friends circle, and in the chat, and Richard and Cordero have seen it, where some girls' coins might not be together, then we could adjust. You know what I'm saying? We could accommodate and do some other things that don't require like a big spending spree. Like not everything require a big coin for everything we do. You know what I'm saying? We could do some low stuff, some simple stuff. You know what I'm
But the
saying?
girl, but the girl, but the girl still working. She still ain't got it together. She still ain't willing to give anything.
Y'all are
Still ain't willing.
shady.
It could be a whole house event, and the girl still ain't brought nothing, ain't did nothing,
Y'all are so. But we're
Ain't
big.
nothing. Ain't
But
buy no
not.
cups, no nothing.
We're big.
nothing.
We're big and big and big and big and baby. I'm here. How am I here?
So then, what do we do?
Don't get me started.
Right. So it's like, listen, sometimes you gotta listen, and this is no shade when I say this. Sometimes you gotta meet people where they at, and it's not dropping beyond your level. It's just do things in their capacity, if you will, and that's not no shade. You know what I'm saying? Because there is a
Yes.
cost to community, and then there's levels to the cost, right? So if you're at the bottom of the barrel of the cost, and the funds or whatever is not there, then I could just meet you there instead of you trying to meet where everybody else is leveled up at, and then you feel some type of way. It's like communicate. You know what I'm saying? But if people won't communicate, hey, what's going on? And I know sometimes when we be vulnerable, we could be vulnerable to the wrong person, and it could be that information could be used against you and woo woo, because sometimes you have to have discernment of who you could trust, telling them, hey, this is what's going on with me. This is why I don't do this and that. This is why my coin low or why I'm broke. You got to have that discernment of who you being vulnerable to, so the understanding and comprehension could take place. You know what I'm saying? But if a person
But
open
some people never understand. And what I had to learn is some people, the world is by two, meaning that you have givers. I'm a giver. You have
me,
givers and you have takers. And I just dealt with a taker, and let me say they are toxic.
no, I understand, because I'm the same way. Like my nurturing nature, I want everybody to elevate. I'm always giving. So it's like I get what you're coming from, because I'm the exact same way. But in the last 4 years, slowly I had to realize, like, the people that's givers and healers and nurturers, sometimes we get drained. You know what I'm saying? Like we get tired. You know what I'm saying? Then we wonder why. And then we have to track down and backtrack. Okay, what's draining me? You know what I'm saying? What's making me tired? And then when we
Hmm.
realize who it is or the common factor, we got to eliminate that immediately.
Gone.
Immediately. Yes. Okay. Then, well,
Gone.
this going to the next topic. I guess we could definitely move on. So, in this next topic, we're going to talk about expecting you from other people and compatibility friendships. So, y'all ready for the next clip?
Ready?
Yes.
All right, let me add this to the stage.
You. They don't love the way you love. They were not born, they were not raised, they were not in the same environment that you were. So why do you think that people are going to act like you act towards them? I understand that you go above and beyond. I understand that you will roll out the red carpet. But listen, everybody doesn't do what you do. People play a part, right? So I had to remember, if I'm really good at doing A, why would I expect someone else to do A as well? Maybe they good at doing B. Like maybe we're complementary in friendship. Like I think sometimes we are like, I do this, you better do this, and I only tolerate this. No, there's a benefit from balance in friendships. Like I remember one of my really close friends, she was really good at physically showing up in person. Like she just knew how to support you in person, hands down. But she wasn't the best person when it came to phone calls. Like she wasn't the person that would like call every single time. But you know what I do? I'm really good at calling. Like if it's on my mind, I'm going to act on it. So you know what? We got into a complimentary friendship where I would call her a lot, but then anytime I said, hey, pull up, hey, do this, she was always down for the cause. So you have to know that it is complementary with personalities and behaviors. Everybody is not going to be you. Everybody's not going to do what you do. So you keep expecting these people to perform how you perform and do what you do is unrealistic, and you're going to be disappointed every single time. You're going to be disappointed. Manage those expectations and recognize that every one of us are not the same, but everyone has something to bring to the table.
Hang on, let me
I
remove this.
love that. I
Okay.
love that. I love that.
So I have two things to say. One is that by us having this show, I have people that actually like want to come on the show, whatever. But how I do it is like everybody's not. It's not meant for the show. Everybody doesn't have that. I feel like that could have good conversations with you. This is why we're all on the show, because I feel like I can actually sit and have good conversations with you all. It's not for everybody. So I actually have people that get mad at me for not wanting to put them on the show. It's just I don't feel it's for you. I don't feel like you have it for the show. So I'm not going to do it. Everybody
Yeah.
fits where they're supposed to. And it's just I don't feel like it's for you. I'm telling you, I've really got people getting upset with me for not putting them on the show. But I just don't feel like it's for you.
And they should
Right.
understand that, and they shouldn't be upset. It's your show, and it's no shade, and they're still your friend. Like when you do something, I don't have to always involve every family member, every friend, and if that happens, you shouldn't get mad at me. If you always get mad at me, I might have to evaluate you as a friend or a person in my life, because I won't get to do everything with every friend or every family, and that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. Honestly, this when I found this clip, it spoke hard to my whole existence, and I felt like it was
Yes.
very personal for me. You know, everybody that came in my life know I'm a nurturer, and I feel like one of my biggest downfalls, and I could say this, being transparent here, is that sometimes I expect me from, well, I say sometimes in the past, before I gained some of the discernment I had, when I used to just be around the people a lot with my integrated nature, right? So because I was always the one helping out, volunteering, nurturing. If I see a person down, I will always, give, uplift, build people. It's part of my spirit. My grandmother taught me a little bit well. So with that being said, I always expected, damn, like when you do so much good, and I believe when you do good, God will bless you tenfold, right? But however, sometimes that's not always the case. And my biggest downfall was always expecting me from me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I had a standard. If I set the bar here, I expect you to meet me here. I don't settle for less. You know what I'm saying? But with time, I realized like, hey, everybody's different. Everybody's background's a little different. And depending on certain actions, some actions deserve grace and some don't. That's where the discernment come in, right? And also, like she said, complimentary friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the way I might show up and give might not be the same as you, but in the long run, in the way of us getting to know each other, building a friendship or relationship or whatever, right? Once we study each other, then it's like, okay, I know to show up for this, show up with this energy, or or I need to meet you here, or by studying you or studying and analyzing a person, you know where to somewhat meet them in the middle to a certain point. But that took a lot of years of me, falling down, getting up, falling down, getting up, tears and all these things to get to this point where I'm at, where it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And if a person don't show up as you are or do what you do, it doesn't mean it's shade. It just, depend on the situation, right? It could show their character or just shows how they respect you or don't respect you at all. So it was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn and still learn.
Yeah, because you have came a long way, and like you said, Aaron is that like motherly figure, and sometimes I have to tell Aaron sometimes like, no, 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 what they did and what they said was not right. I have to really like speak up and tell him sometimes. But I will say that when he do go in, sometimes he go in, and I be like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I've been proud of my friend. I be so proud of him. I be like, yes.
Right, because the issue is when you're a giver and give a lot, sometimes you don't take what a person says face value. You be trying to interpret it through an optimistic lens and to make it the perception that you want it versus looking at it the reality what it is. So that was one of the issues.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a giver, but I'm also a realist. You're not finna play with me. You're not finna play in my face. You're gonna get cussed out and you're gonna know what it is at the door. It's like you coming in my house, like prime example. Whenever you come into my apartment, I make everybody take their shoes off because it's carpet everywhere except for the kitchen, the bathroom, and the doorway. It's kind of like that. Like those are my rules, my regulations, those are my boundaries. If you can't respect those, bye. That's why I've like even the private conversations me and Aaron have had. I'm like, Aaron, stop letting them play with you. And I'm so proud again, Cordero, I agree with you. I'm so proud of the growth that I see because before it was just like you was letting. I'm sorry, Lord, forgive me, but you were letting people that don't even deserve the good things they do have, talking to you crazy, and I just be like, okay, so there's one person in particular that still does it, and I just be like, all right.
I gotta know who you talking about.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, and that's why I said what I said, and that's what it was. And
right.
Would it be there Saturday?
Yeah, Aaron was like, he's like, just breathe. I was like, no, because we're grown. There's no children in this chat. None.
Right.
So there should be no reason. There's no children in our friend circle. There's no children. Why are we acting like children? Why can't we act our age? And this is coming from somebody who's younger than all of y'all.
Ooh, I can't wait till after the show.
Well, let me say this. I really enjoyed that clip. She literally kind of just read me to filth. And one thing I want to highlight in the clip, she said, your friends are different. How you move, they don't do the same. So literally, I was going through this all week with one of my best friends or whatever. So I was just watching his habit and seeing what he would do, but I was allowing myself to get a little mad. But literally, when I asked for something, he did it. So I'm a giver. I mean, I naturally do that. Like I naturally go get drinks, food. That's what I do. My friend's opposite, meaning he will just ask. You know what I mean? Like, hey, can you go get something to drink today? Sure. What you want? Like, it's never a no. With this friend, and I had to realize that this week because I was allowing myself to like, why he not? But every time I ask, I receive. So we are all different people, and don't expect a person to be just like you. I might go see my friends and go buy food for everybody. Don't mean that you would do that. But if I ask you, you will. Like we just gotta open our mouth and properly communicate as adults, and I think things will go further. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right.
Communication is key.
And that's one of the lessons I said I had to learn heavily. Is like closed mouths don't get fed. The old saying, I feel like that old saying, it just don't speak to the end of time. It's like if you know something's bothering you, or you feel like, oh, there might be tension, address it. because even I admit sometimes in the past I would kind of sweep things underneath the rug and be like, for the sake of peace, like, oh, I don't want to, like, now it's like, nah, fuck all that shit. Like, you gonna hear what it is, and then we gonna communicate like adults. Now, if if we gotta yell a little bit, then we gonna do that. If we don't, as long as we don't get physical, now if we get physical, now that's a whole different dynamic right there. But as long as you could say how you feel, and I tell people everybody have the right to feel what they feel. Sometimes tone and delivery does matter, but sometimes in the heat of the moment of getting your point across, emotions do fly high. But but at the end of the day, it's like once everything cool down, if a person really knows you, they'll be like, okay, it's us versus the problem versus me versus you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you better fix. You better fix that tone and delivery right when you say it, because what you give me, I'm gonna give right back, probably even harder. That's just me.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I think we all have been in situations where sometimes we get too passionate in the moment, and when we feel passionate about our point of view, or we feel like something disrespectful, when in reality it's just a person explaining themselves. But sometimes certain words.
They better work. That's something they need to work on. I feel like that's something they need to work on. That ain't my problem, because what you gave me, I'm
giving it back
right there. Watch your tongue. Watch how you talk.
Right. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Everybody have opinions. We all have one. They all stink. It's like assholes. But trust and believe me, what you want, I got for you.
I got everything for you. Everything.
But also at the same time, and Cordero to attest to this, I also have to learn this, that I tell people everybody's feelings matter, like everybody's opinions matter. I don't want to ever make nobody feel dismissed. But sometimes you also got to look at yourself and realize if certain feelings, emotions are valid. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I think we all by default had unnecessary emotions or opinions, and it's like, now, like, did you really have to go there? Did you really have to take a swim and feel some type of way? Because sometimes, as humans, we could blow up something small and make it big. And Cordero, you've seen that in real time.
I was looking at you because I feel like he's speaking about himself. I feel like he's really speaking about himself.
No, I'm just saying in general. Sometimes I feel like in this life, everybody have done that once, and then when we look back at it, it's like, damn, like, you know what? Okay, fine. Like, I was in the wrong.
Baby, I go off. Yeah, Aaron, you already know what. I've calmed down. Trust him, I've calmed down. But still, don't play with me. Go play in traffic. Traffic is safe.
It takes a lot for me to get upset or for someone to get to me. I usually kind of like, I'll let you have it for a minute. I may let you have it, but just don't keep giving it. I may let you slide and just give you that. But if you keep going, that's when you go see something else.
Right.
But 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
What you want to do? So what we doing?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes even with that, we got to really look at a situation and be like, is this really worth it, or if it's not? Because there's some people that be consistent across the board, and then sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles. Be like, okay, you know what? I let you have it, but only to this point. Obviously,
I don't know.
You don't get no this point. I don't know. I just talk too much. I don't know. I talk too much. So
right.
If you talking, I'm gonna talk. If you say something, I'm gonna say something. I already have a naturally smart mouth. I talk crap for fun. Like, you my friend, and we hang around each other. I'm gonna talk crap to you because you're my friend. That's how I'm a man. So that's what I like to do. So it's already like you won't be able to slip through. You won't be able to slip through. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of too hard. Wait a minute.
Right, but sometimes the laughs and kiki. But listen, sometimes you got to analyze the laughs and kiki in the shade, because sometimes that could be a little bit of undertone of a little bit of hate. Because sometimes people, even in your corner, could be hating or despise certain things, but they're not gonna show it. So sometimes, even with the laughs and kiki, you still got to read into the joke and be like, hang on, wait a minute, like, sound a little bit of hate to me, because you could tell a kiki from a little undertone of shade. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
A lot of people be sticking in a ponytail, and I'll be like, You trying to be slick? I got your chump change. What you need?
You trying to be cute? You trying to be funny? You trying to be cute? You trying to be funny? What's what do?
I can be Kevin Durant or I can be Beyonce. Who you want? Who you need?
But no, I think analyzing your friends is very important. Like, I'm the friend. I was just telling my friend this because he always hit me up first, always communicate first, and I told him like, hey, you have to understand, I was the only child for 18 years, so I'm used to being alone. I think about all my friends all the time. But I'm a person that literally would be in my own bubble, and I'm okay. So I was like, you might have to reach out more, like she said in the clip. She the friend that have to call her best friend because her best friend is not good with phones. Well, I'm that
Right.
friend. I'm
And
that
that's
friend, and it's okay.
and that'd be my issue. Like sometimes everybody communication style is different. Some people are texters and callers, and but I feel like it's different when you always the one texting, and then if it's a whole thread where it looks like you almost talk to you, so it's like ain't no way. Even a person who's not really a texter, real like ain't no way. Nobody's that busy. Everybody get the same notification. Ain't no way you see all these text messages and it's hardly a response. Like yeah, we all grown, we all got life and life be life, and but it gets to a point where it's like
Now that's
okay.
shady. That's shady. That's
Yeah,
shady.
yeah. I'll respond, but I'm a caller. Call me because I don't be on my. I'll have my watch. If I
Right.
have my watch, I'll have my
Right.
phone. If I don't hear it or feel it, look, if you're not getting a response out of me, probably till the next day or that
I'm
same.
so the opposite. Like calling me, like if you call me, I may just be like, okay, can we FaceTime? Like holding the phone up like all this time and just sitting there talking. I
I,
think I've kind of like grown out of that for certain, but I'm a
I
work in
mean,
progress.
listen with an
I'm a work in
iPhone, but
progress.
here's the thing, like even it's courtesy, like just because we got the ability to FaceTime, you still got to have that courtesy, depending on how the person is. You be like, listen, can I FaceTime? Because you never know what a person might be in the middle of or getting into. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
So,
I'm gonna ask. Like, you ain't just
Oh,
gonna FaceTime out. Yeah.
okay. I'm so grateful that you guys literally just said FaceTime. I'm so grateful. Okay. Okay. Do you think it's okay if you just met someone? They probably watching the show. How you doing? If you just met someone, do you think um they should have that access to you far as FaceTime? Meaning I'm a texter to begin with. But
me
let's say
too.
you meet someone, whether you like them or not, do you think they should get like video access? To me, I feel like that's excessive. Or why would you
that's
like
premature.
Me
Premature.
I don't know.
personally, I'm a texter by nature. Even with the fiance who I've been with for 6 years, when we met, I was not. I was the person usually like doing the like calling text, doing calling text, like calling FaceTime. I feel like that's access you get with time. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on the elevation of who you're dealing with and where y'all trying to take certain things. Now, a friendship, I feel like with time, yeah, you're getting that access. You know what I'm saying? Like if a
What?
person FaceTime me, then it's like, okay, fine, I will answer the call. If I'm not doing nothing, fine. Let's go.
But
You
what,
know.
Nelson? What issue do you have with the person that's FaceTiming you?
The issue is I told the person how I like to communicate. I say, hey, I'm a texter. We can even voice message because you have voice messages as well. We can text and we can get to know each other. I said this clearly. And every time you trying to communicate with me, you trying to video chat me. And I'm um,
But
like, how you
see,
doing?
that's something that the both of you guys have to work on together, I think, because
Mhm.
he's one way and you're another way. So where can we meet in the middle to make it better?
True, 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 true. But
Right.
I definitely feel like I'm not being heard when if I talk to anyone. I say, hey, I like to text. I can voice like we can voice chat all day. I can send voice to you all day. I can probably do a video
That is
clip
so
like,
mean. That is so mean.
but like
But
an
then,
actual video like while I'm at work and I'm at work doing stuff. You want to be on my video and I don't know about that.
So do y'all like to do the voice clips? For me, I don't like to hear myself talk. Like even like going back and watching like the video our show, like I don't know, I don't like to hear myself talk. I
for
feel like
me, you know
the
what?
voice clips.
Right. You know
I
what?
know
I
the
admit
same
it.
way.
I'm the same way. But you know, me being in this podcast space and then me also being on the technical side when I watch the replay of the lives we do, it's like if this is something I need to get into, I have to get comfortable with doing it. So like for me now, because this is like our sixth episode, and then me being on last season, now I'm at the point where it's like I could see myself and hear myself because it's like I have no choice. When you're doing this and taking it for real, you gotta
Yeah, you
start.
can. I can say I'm kind of forced to listen to it, but I still don't like to hear myself
I
talk.
still don't like. I think you never do. You hear your voice. You be like, "Ooh, I sound like this." You be like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
"Ooh."
But yeah,
Okay, well, we gonna get into the next clip, but before we do, my lovely co-host Cordero sent me this quote, and it really ties into the next clip. So I'd rather read this out loud first, and then we can get into that. Okay. It's always a delay. It says, "Respect your place in people's lives. If they don't include you, don't insert yourself. If they don't share with you, don't chase answers. If they don't invite you, don't force your presence. Protect your peace by knowing where you stand." And I feel like that's going to tie into what we're going into next. So I'm going to play this next clip, and here we go.
Understand and know your place in somebody's life. And what I mean by this is something that I've realized over time is that every single friendship is not going to expect the same version of you to show up for them. Meaning that if you are like me and you are this person that likes to solve everything or provide a solution or provide answers to certain people, some people are not looking for somebody to solve their issues or provide them with certain answers. They just want you to be there. I also think on the other end of things, when you have the friend that doesn't really show up for you in the ways that you might have wanted to show up for them, you have to also understand that you are prioritized in that way in their life, and you need to readjust the dynamic in yours. Relationships get so much easier when you maneuver them accordingly to how you are experiencing them. You need to put people where they put you in their lives. Like, it's not matching energy, it's just understanding the assignment. I'm not matching your energy in a way where I'm trying to be petty or malicious towards you. I have no problems with you. But if I see you not doing certain things for me that I once did for you, common sense is, this is not reciprocal. Maybe I should stop doing those things. And I think my life just got 10 times easier when I allowed people to do what they would rather do and just showed up in the ways that people were expecting me to. If you don't want advice, I'm not going to give you advice. If you don't want to tell me about your personal life, I'm not going to pry. And if you don't see me as an everyday friend, but as a going out friend, I guess we'll be going out together. I just allow things to be.
And that's how you have it. So,
so so I'm to a point where I feel like there is someone that I think that we were cool, but they have this person that's always around them. I think y'all may know who I'm talking about. That I'm just choosing not to probably go to events where they, because they have this partner. I'll just say it. They have this partner that always seem to get into it with somebody every single. It's all the time. It's not sometimes. It's all the time.
Oh my
So
God.
it's like we can't go to a house party, we can't go to a club, we can't go to no house because this person, and actually even sort of got it, sort of almost tried to get into it with me out of, it was just weird. So I'm to that point where I know where I stand. Like I have to kind of dissociate myself from that. And I may not even show up to a lot of things because of that partner. It's just
Yeah.
unnecessary. It doesn't have to be all the time. Like it's all.
for me, in the stage that I'm at in my life, and like I said, I'm elevating and growing, I have realized my place in certain people's lives in putting people accordingly where they belong. Going back to what Nelson said at the start of the show about everybody used the word friend so loosely, I was one of those type of people. Now I'm at a point where with discernment and with history, looking at a person's behavior pattern and how they move, now I'm starting to demote a lot of people very fast and they don't even know it. So it's like to me now I'm realizing my place in certain people's lives. And I also realize like my nurturing energy or just how I move or my principles and morals, don't align with certain people. You know what I'm saying? Some people could be out there and like don't get me wrong, I love embracing people. I believe in diversity and all these things. Love is always the message from me. But now I'm starting to kind of draw the line in the sand where it's like the way you move, now, just my eyes being open now because sometimes it can be a little clouded. I realize you're not really a friend. You're more like conveniency. Like you cool for this, but then you always throwing shade when other things are suggested, and that goes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But it's just the thing. It's just to me, it's going back to also what Richard said. You have friends for everything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's kind of a little sad that not everybody could be included in things. So now it's like I'm really starting to throw people where they belong and realize that everybody plays a certain role and stop trying to intersect people at certain points. So, like I said, I'm in this awakening era, and that's just where I stand on it.
I mean, I understand. Like, one, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the funny part because I've checked this person multiple times about that whole like attitude and why be nasty when you don't have to be. But in all reality, I kind of knew like my place in people's lives, or I accepted it, my place in people's lives when I moved out of the state the first time at 19, and everybody were treating me different, and then I moved back, and it was just like I'm only convenient for y'all when y'all need me to go to the store or go pick somebody up or do this or do that. It's like I'm this everything person just for your convenience. But now I'm at this point in my life where, quite frankly, I don't care my position in your life. Like if you talk to me, that clearly means you care about me, and if you don't, you don't. There's no ill will in my intentions, and I'm not praying on your downfall. However, I am praying that you get the hell away from me. Yeah, if your intentions aren't pure. If you don't have positive energy, if your energy is not, let me see how I can make my friend the next millionaire. Like my intention or my drive is to have a compound with the people that I care about. So we're not going far. We don't have to worry about, oh, this person is hurt because they're in this state, or like it's too much going on in the world. So it's like, again, that place in people's lives kind of depends on your relationship with people.
Yes, but I think that we have to realize this. People have so much going on in their lives. I do not like a person who um come at you and be like, "Oh, I haven't talked to you in months. Where you been?" and have an attitude versus asking you what's going on in your
Mm,
life. I never think no one personally for myself don't like me or hate me. I have many friends. I'm a very isolated person. So I feel like when people go away from you, it's not negative. It's literally called life. Like people literally be going through things and they might not have the energy to contact you, or simply my dad's sick. So my dad been sick going on like 2 years. So I get lost and I work full time. Like I get lost in the sauce. I love everybody. I don't I love everybody. Like I do. I just get lost in the sauce. But I feel like a lot of us kind of look at it in a negative way, like, oh, wait, he not my friend. He don't mess with me. He don't care about me. It is not like that, though. Not all the time. Sometimes it is, but not all the time.
You know what? And I feel like this because I have some people who are, they show up if it's important, you know what I'm saying? And we could go months without talking and, it's not going to change our dynamic. But at the same time, I would kind of look at it a certain way, you know what I'm saying? But it goes back to the maturity part, right? The maturity part is to ask questions. But, nobody's also obligated to tell their tea or what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because it levels to connection and how close you are with an individual. So if we know we should hang out maybe 1 or 2 times out of the year, and for some reason, whatever it is, and you don't want to tell me, fine, that's your tea. But at the same time, try to make me understand because sometimes we all, by default, at one point or another in our lives, could get into our own heads and draw our own conclusions and do X, Y, and Z. I feel like we all have done it at one point in our lives. But
yes. exactly what you said, drawing conclusions, because exactly what Nelson just said, the person's attitude, like, so I actually just had a person do that to me as well, message me and basically was saying like, I haven't heard from you in a while, like this is somebody that's trying to talk to me or whatever. I haven't talked to you in a while, but like it's a way that you say things. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Like that should be the approach.
Right.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's going on, why I haven't talked to you. It's a reason why. But
Thank you.
ask, hey, what's going on? How you been? Like let me say what the issue is.
Yes,
Communication.
I hate a friend or a family member that come at you like this. You be like, hey, how you doing? And they say, oh, where you been? You been gone, and they just be like rude. Anyone that start the conversation off like that with me, I'm automatically turned off.
Right.
Versus you seeing me and you be saying, hey, how you been? What's going on with you? And having a conversation that way, you're trying to chastise me, not even knowing what I have going on. I hate people that start conversations off like that. You been gone all this time. Where you been at? You don't talk to me. I do not like that.
Yeah.
Don't like that. I don't like that.
Hang up on you.
Now I
Right.
promise you, my doorbell
You
just
say
rung.
hang
My
up on
doorbell.
you.
Right.
Hang up
I feel like if you know you haven't been in communication with a person for a while, you got to kind of come correct. You know what I'm saying? It's how you do it, because it's like how you come is going to dictate how I respond. If you
yeah.
come in a prying way where it's like, even for example, I say I be around more of my associates and friends more than my own family. You know what I'm saying? I might visit family time to time throughout the years or holidays or whatever, because I got my own life, and then I just kind of fell into the habit of building my chosen family, all this and that, right? But it's like when I reach out, I be like, hey, how let's say, for example, how my nieces or whatever doing, they be like, good, you need to come through, man, often, or, X, Y, and Z, depending on how they kind of come, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I definitely come through, but it depends on how you present the energy, you know what I'm saying?
Also, I feel like I have certain people that I choose not to like keep in touch with as much, because I feel like sometimes you have those people that bring on their problems to you every time you call them or whatever they're going through. Like, it's fine sometimes. I do have some people that's like that, and I just don't check on you as much because of
Some
that.
people have a negative spirit. Some people have a negative spirit, and when they speak to you, it's always a woe is me spirit. Always
Right,
something
right,
going on
right.
that's stressful.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. Sometimes I feel like everybody needs their devices to vent, and I do take it as pleasure. Like, when a person comes to me about something, fine, just because how my personality and nurture is, how I set up. But
But when you
however,
have some of those
if
that
it's multiple times, if it's the same situation or the same situation with an individual, and this is like to the 10th power in math bit, then you know what? It's like you need to find a illusion. I might give grace after the first time you come to me, because it's like, okay, it's the introduction to all the tea. You want to dissect and get into it, because that's just how I am. But then it's
so
like after the second, after the second and third time, it's like, okay, what solutions have come up with since our last session? I begin like in my therapist bag, like. So have you came up with any resolution skills, or have you found a common factor in these issues? And if so, let's dissect that, like, to get to the real answer. You feel me? But it's
that's
like
so
after everything's like, what?
that's why like me and Aaron knows that, like, even when he brings him up sometimes, and I'll be like what now? Like it's
Mhm.
thing. It's always something, but it's about the same issue, and it's been about the same issue forever. So it's to the point where I'm just like, okay.
I mean, that's understandable. You're entitled to feel how you feel, but people don't be doing right.
Oh shit. No, you don't.
It's like people don't be doing right, and then they get mad at you for being the bad guy when you were literally treating me like garbage, like literally shit on your shoe, and I get mad when you get the same energy. No, ma'am.
And the phone works both ways.
Thank you. They be like, oh well, I'm your elder.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, my younger. Your point?
See me
It
coming
works
to my
both
house,
ways.
work both ways. Hanging out with me, calling me and asking me, "Hey, let's hang out." Works both ways. Not just me all the time.
Me.
Ooh, but see, remember I just said, like I'm the friend that like be isolated. So sometimes you might have to be the friend that reach out. A person could always be down to see you and always be down to talk to you. It's just that in their nature, like myself, my nature is to chill, and I literally think about all my friends all day, and I will let the day slip away without texting or saying something. And I really hate that. I want to work on that. I do, but you literally have some people that's like that.
Yeah.
And don't miss your opportunity because you be like, nah, you can hit me up too. Keep hitting them up.
Right. Uh, we at an hour. I know we got one more topic, but I don't want to chance this thing cutting off. You know what I'm saying? I might save this one for next week and give you our free topic next week. Honestly.
I got my topics already, so I just need y'all to know. Just be ready.
Okay, fine. But I'm just
Right.
throwing one free one in there for y'all. This.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for everybody tuning into this episode. All the commentary and experiences were definitely valid. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and also follow everybody's social medias if it's posted there. And I hope everybody have a blessed Sunday.
Yes.
That was really nice.